Hello, my name is Michael Dewberry. This is my design document video based on enemy behavior. Today I will show you enemies in the game based on their behavior and what special movements they do and how they interact with the player and how long they attack. The game that I will be playing is Nuclear Throne. It is a top-down shooter game that my team and I will use as a reference to build our game. The point of the game is to clear all the enemies in each room. As the player progresses, the enemies get stronger. If you complete each room, you will gain more power and to make your player monster stronger. The three enemies that I will be observing in Nuclear Throne are the Scorpion, the Big Bandit, and the Big Dog. I will be observing their attack patterns, what special attacks they do, how long it takes for them to shoot another round at me, and how much damage they can do. The first enemy I will be observing is the Scorpion. From what I can gather, it likes to keep away from the player. It like runs away and it shoots from like a distance, a spread of projectiles. From what I can gather from it, it can it take one of if the player gets hit by one of those projectiles, he takes like maybe two damage. I also tried to see what would happen if I come in contact with it. I read that if the player touches the Scorpion, it takes like 5 damage. But I tested it, and it turns out that it's only like 2 damage at best. And his cooldown for attacking me, it's like maybe like 3 to 5 seconds each time the player shoots at the enemy shoots at the player. The Big Bandit is a boss that the player will mostly find in the desert level. This boss can shoot a lot of projectiles at the player. For each bullet it hits on the player, it could take about like maybe 3 health points from the player. What I also found out about the bandit is that it can also bulldoze their way through walls. As you can see here, if the player gets out of the bandit's line of sight, he will do like a special attack to destroy, go through the walls, and also he gains a buff. If the player if the player manages to if the enemy manages to hit the player, he gets like a double damage of 10, and if he manages to hit the player, he will kill him automatically. It does like it might have something to do, if I could guess the code, it could be if if player if player is out of sight and behind a wall, go through, charge at the wall and do 10 times the normal damage you'd usually do. As you can see, the next enemy I'll be showing is the Big Dog. It's not my gameplay. I couldn't get to it. I couldn't get to in my gameplay. It was too hard. But anyway, I found this clip of the Big Dog. What I can gather, what information I could gather is that if the player disturbs the Big Dog while it's sleeping, the dog will attack the player. And as you can see, the projectile, he does a type of spin attack, and while he's spinning, he does like a 3 damage. And as you can see, if the player if the player does enough damage, he'll start to throw missiles at the heat-seeking missiles at the player. And and if the and it can also destroy objects, like walls and stuff, like use explosives like that to try and kill a player. Also, the player might want to like watch out, because if the player manages to kill the Big Dog, he'll self-destruct, and without the player knowing, he will on explosion, he will he will damage the player for like maybe 10 to 5 to 10 damage at best. Uh, anyway, thank you for listening to my video. Have a nice day.